Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about this book I just read. It is called We Are the Ants by Sean Hutchinson. Yeah, Hutchinson. I have no idea, but anyways. So I didn't take any notes on what I really wanted to talk about. I kind of thought about it, but I'm just going to be talking about it. The first part of this will be non-spoilery, and then after that I will talk about a few spoilers, but I will warn you guys so you guys can leave if you haven't read it yet. So what this book is about, it is about a boy named Henry, and he is abducted by aliens. He has been before, and they just kind of experiment on him and then send him back on his way. Normally they drop him off in a random place in his underwear, and he has to try and get back home without being seen or arrested for not having clothes. So they give him this red button, they show him this red button, and basically he's given the choice that if he presses it, he saves the world, and if he doesn't, the world ends. And he has a lot of stuff going on in his life, so he doesn't know if he wants to press it. His father left them. His mother smokes a lot of cigarettes and is pretty depressed about their father leaving. His brother got a girl pregnant, and his boyfriend just committed suicide. So he's not very happy with life, so he doesn't know if the world deserves to go on, so he doesn't know if he wants to press the button. And that's basically the whole story, is him deciding if he wants the world to go on. He is in chemistry class one day when a boy walks in, and his name is Diego, and the story kind of goes from there. There is also a boy named Marcus in there, which is kind of a big part of the story, and basically him and Henry are hooking up secretly, because Marcus is your popular guy, your typical popular rich guy, and he wouldn't want people to know he's hooking up with Henry, because Henry's kind of what would be a nerd. He's really good at chemistry, and he's really book smart, and so and plus I don't think Marcus would want people to know he's gay, so that's kind of a thing going on in the beginning of the book. So first off, what I really liked about this book was that Henry was gay, and that it wasn't the main point of the book, because I see so many stories, books and movies where the gay character is just the gay character, and that is their whole purpose of the whole book. That's just they're the gay one, that's their story, and that's just a small part of someone. They have so much more to offer. Gay people aren't just, that's not that doesn't define their whole life. They have other problems. Okay, I'm editing right now, and I realized that kind of sounded bad. I didn't mean as in other problems. I didn't mean being gay is a problem, but typically in books when they have a gay character, it's kind of about them overcoming the fact that they're gay and accepting it, and they act like that's the only problem they have in life, and that's the only problem they ever had. And I liked in this book how it showed that that was the smallest problem Henry had. He had so many other stuff going on in his life. So that's what I meant by that. I didn't mean it was a problem. I just meant that they have normally books they have it they're overcoming that and accepting themselves. And they have more to them, and I really liked this book. Showed that it had really good representation. Henry is gay, and the fact that Marcus was I don't know if he was gay or bisexual, but the fact that he was the popular kid and that he still was gay, I thought was kind of cool, and it showed that not all gay people are just like Henry, because I feel like society kind of has that outlook on people that it would just be people like Henry that were gay. So I kind of thought that was cool. What I really liked about this book was that it really kind of gives you a meaning of life, and I don't really read that much stuff that has this much meaning, and it was in a really entertaining way. The writing was really good. Throughout the book, Henry asked almost every character if they had the choice to save the world, would they? And they all had their individual unique answers. I thought that was really cool. Another thing I really liked about this book, and I didn't even realize I liked this, but I watched another review on this book, and this girl that I was watching, she said something basically every character had a story, and I realized that's what really made me like this book, and I didn't even realize it. but every character in this book, like, okay, sorry, my camera died, but I was pretty sure I was talking about how every character has like a story. There's no like extra characters that you don't really understand. You really get inside of every character's head. It is in Henry's first person, but like you really understand every character. I look back and there's not one character that I didn't understand, like, somewhat where they were coming from. Like, you got backstories on every character, in-depth backstories. So, and when I was describing what this book was about, I forgot to mention that Henry's grandma also is losing her memories from Alzheimer's, so that's another thing he's struggling with in this book. But yeah, this book basically, like, if you've ever wanted to know the meaning of life, and I'm not saying that this book is like the answer, but it'll definitely give you a different perspective, and maybe it'll help you find like the meaning of the life. I thought it was really good. I do want to say it does like have to do with suicide and suicidal thoughts so it could be triggering to some people, because in the beginning it's really depressing. I would suggest if you go into it to try and finish it, because the beginning's really depressing and it has like a really depressing outlook on life, and if you don't read it until literally like the last 2 pages, like, you're just not gonna get good things out of this book, because the beginning of it, Henry is so depressed. So if you really want to get like the full like good vibe from this book and the understanding of this book, you really have to read the whole thing, or else all you're going to get out of it is like sadness. Okay, so now I am going to get into spoilers. If you haven't read this, go and read it because it's amazing, and then come back and watch the rest of this video. Also, this author has written other books and it's on the back, so check some of those out too. I haven't read any of those, so I can't tell you they're for sure good, but I'm definitely going to be checking them out because this book was amazing, and it is probably at least in my top 10 favorite books I've ever read, possibly even top 5. So the spoilers are going to start now, so please leave if you haven't read it. Okay, so now that we are getting into the spoilers, first off, I want to talk about Henry and Marcus's relationship. I thought it was really nice that got like thrown out the window, because when I started reading this book, I thought that was going to be like the point of the book. I thought they were going to be together, and even though I kind of thought it was cool that like the popular guy was gay and keeping it a secret and yada yada yada, it wasn't really a healthy relationship. I felt like this book really encouraged healthy relationships, and I felt like Diego and Henry's relationship was very adorable, and it was healthy. And like, even though like Diego is kind of crazy, the fact that he like wanted to kill Marcus and other people who hurt Henry wasn't healthy, and I felt like the book kind of like showed that in a way, because like he got arrested and like, you know, and he was could have went to jail, and I feel like he kind of learned from that, and he even said, did you know you can't hurt people just because they hurt the people you love? And like, I felt like it was just an all-around pretty healthy relationship, and like neither of them were like over like possessive, or there wasn't like cheating going on or anything like that. None of them were like aggressive towards each other. There was no like I don't know, like lots of book relationships or like movie relationships. They like have stuff like, you know, one of them's trying to convince the other one to do something they don't want to do, and I really liked seeing the healthy relationship between the two of them. I felt like the most meaningful part of this book was the last 2 pages. Let me find it. 450 and 451 were the most meaningful pages. So basically what I took from this book, and obviously I feel like everyone who reads a book is going to take something different from it depending on their past experiences in life and all that, but what I took from this was that like in 100 years from now, you're probably not gonna matter like at all, but like you're here now, and like you should try and impact people's life in the best way possible, because it might not matter 100 years from now, but it matters now. Like, you know, like you need to be nice to people, and like you need to form healthy, good relationships, friendships, like dating relationships, and like just enjoy life. I feel like sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to like leave this big imprint on the world and all this, and I feel like this book was just kind of like enjoy life, be nice to people, and that's like your impact. Like you can just impact one person in a really good way, and like that's good enough. Like just making one person's life good and whatever, or a couple people, like that's enough. Like you don't have to change the whole world. Like you just need to be nice to people and make people feel important, and you know, the people you love, make sure they know that you love them, and that's like the meaning of life. And like I feel like sometimes I put so much pressure on myself to like make this big change and stuff, and I feel like it was really good to hear that and just know that as long as you're like making a difference in one person's life, you're like serving a purpose here. You don't have to like change thousands of people's life to have had a purpose in this earth. I also really liked after I can't think of her name now, Charlie's girlfriend. I'm trying to find where her name was. I don't know how I forgot this because I literally just finished this book yesterday. Well, anyways, Charlie's girlfriend, I liked how even after she had the miscarriage, or I guess it was technically a stillbirth, her and Charlie stayed together, because I feel like lots of relationships go through a lot of struggles after that, and lots of the time they end up breaking up, and I feel like it was good to show that they can still have a happy life and be together, even though they lost a child. It doesn't mean they have to lose their love for each other, and they still supported each other, and hopefully they will get to be parents one day, and I just thought that was really nice for them to stay together. I really liked Henry's Nana, and the fact that she went to a place like a nursing home, and the fact that they like set up all the pictures for her and all that, so then she could look at them and remember times, and even if she couldn't really remember them that well, she could still have pictures, and kind of like it would jog her memory, or at least she would see them and they made her happy. I feel like that was really good, because I feel like lots of people put pressure on once their parents need to be in nursing homes, they try and keep them with them and like at their house, and it showed that even though she was in a nursing home, they could still go and visit her and still do nice things for her. I feel like that was really good for people to see. I also really loved Henry's mom, and like how she didn't have a really good job, and Henry like convinced her to get a better job, and that was just really sweet, and I felt like it was a really good message, even though her husband left her, and like he was kind of who encouraged her to become a cook. She could still have that part of herself, and I feel like that's really good to learn, because that kind of relates to my life, because I've like had things introduced to me by people of my past, and after they left I kind of had a hard time holding on to that. But I think everyone like kind of comes into your life for a reason, and maybe they weren't meant to stay in your life forever, but maybe they were just meant to like show you something you love. And like for her, like cooking, like, and she found out she loved cooking from him because he like showed her that, and even though they aren't together, she can still carry that out through her life, and I thought that was really good to show. I liked how they showed how she was very happy with her new job, and that she didn't need him to stay in her life to keep her love for cooking. So I'm pretty sure that is it for this book review. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, this book was just so amazing. I had to talk about it. Definitely going to be reading some of these books soon, maybe do some reviews on them, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!